What's going on, Ride Tech Nation? We are out at the 29th annual Miatas at the Gap here at the Tail of the Dragon in North Carolina. We are here for the first time with a set of coilovers for the NC Miata platform. That's the third generation Miata. And we wanted to come down here and introduce that product line alongside the Miata faithful. We've got tons of NA, NB, NC, and ND enthusiasts down here for the weekend, and we are enjoying the Tail of the Dragon and the wonderful weather. So if you want to see what Miatas at the Gap is all about, come along with us and enjoy the ride. All right, so what we're looking at here is the RideTech HQ single adjustable series coilover system for the NC third generation Miata. These are 24 position rebound adjustable coilovers. They're riding on Hyperco springs and Fox factory monotube shocks. We're running a double digressive piston and a valve code spec precisely for this Miata. We've had these on track testing them. So we've come up with a valve code that allows us to take care of what people need on the track, but also run a spring rate that doesn't beat you to death on the road. We see a lot of people are driving their vehicles to the track and racing them on a track day and then coming home. And it's nice to be able to have a little bit of dual use when it comes to that. We have these top hat extensions, if you will, that install in the rear and allow you to maintain a lot of shock travel. And then all of these are Type 3 hard coat anodized. So not only do they look great, but they'll also last a long time in their corrosion resistance. So up front, we've got a 575 pound per inch spring rate. In the rear, we've got 350. You've got 6.3 inches of travel in the front and 6.9 in the rear. That's a 3/4 of an inch gain in compression travel in the front and an inch and a half in the rear. So pretty stellar specs altogether, along with that ride height adjustability and 24 position rebound adjustability. Gives you a lot of adjustability and a really cool package from RideTech. All right, Ride Tech Nation, we were out here on the final day of Miatas at the Gap 2025 down here in Dills Gap, and we've got Josh Smith from Mazda Motorsports here with us. We noticed you guys over at the tent this weekend, and we all know that it's kind of the redheaded stepchild in terms of the generations. Let's talk a little bit about the positives of the NC.
So historically, we've got a lot of history racing these cars. Currently, we run these cars with Spec MX-5, which is
so you're still using these in competition?
We're still using these. It's the third largest class in the SCCA and only its second year since debut with them.
That's fantastic.
So we've got about 250 of these built as Spec MX-5 cars. A lot of those are old conversion from Playboy Cup cars. You know, a lot of the positives of this car is, as a race car, when you strip them down, they can be just as light as a Spec Miata. You can get them there. We race them at 25/25,
okay,
for example. And SM ranges anywhere from 2300 to 2460, depending on, you know, the different generations of the motors over the years and whether they're overbore or not. But the highlights of this car is, it's the biggest car, but that means you put the most amount of tire on it. You put the biggest brake on it. You know, you can get a lot of performance out of them. You get sort of modern ABS in them. We race them as an ABS car.
Okay.
So I think it's vastly overlooked as the performance potential. Obviously, the 2.5 swaps are very popular in these cars.
They are.
People chasing stuff for like grid life,
yep,
or time attack,
yep,
applications. It's really a fun toy, you know.
Well, we've had a fun time this weekend on Tail of the Dragon and everything else around here too. About any road to the Tail of the Dragon may as well be connected to it, in my opinion. But having noticed that they still get used in competition. It's actually kind of interesting. I feel like these are becoming a little bit more popular because they were overlooked, and there's such clean examples of them out there now. People are starting to pick them up a little bit more, which is kind of why we started looking at the NC to be our first foray into the space from RideTech's perspective.
Now, I think the market that you guys are targeting is a really good one. You know, it's not such an old car that you feel like it's left behind. And obviously, you know, the market's pretty well saturated from your perspective of suspension and NAs and MBs.
Sure.
But yes, same thing kind of applies. It sort of got overlooked a little bit. You know, they are kind of aging in, right? There's people our age that are looking back at it and going, maybe I forgot about this car. You know, it's kind of the same scenario you're seeing in early '90s JDM cars. You know, people can finally afford them, and they're like, oh man, I always wanted that RX-7, or I always wanted that, you know, that GTR, or whatever the case may be. I think that's what you're seeing this chassis age into.
Yeah, like a mini version of that.
And the beauty of this generation is not only is it a shared platform with the RX-8, so you get some upgrades from the RX-8 platform from the bigger, heavier car, from the big brother sports car, so to speak. Hubs, brakes, some of the suspension pieces.
We gave you and Jonathan the keys a little bit ago. What did you guys think of the car?
Overall, excellent job, guys. You know, I was very impressed with all of the lack of NVH and noise in the car. You know, look, at first glance, you know, you guys spent a lot of time to build some really nice hard mounts for it. You know, sphericals on both ends, on the clevis end on the bottom as well in the front. First impressions before I even left, you know, Fontana Village here was, you know, this is really quiet. This is like, there's no squeaks, there's no rattles. Then when we progressed down the road to go to Fontana Dam, it was, you know, we got through some of the twisties, got through some of the undulations in the road and some of the dips, and you know, the car's really well planted. You know, the real surprising part of it, I think, is getting a lot of the geometry right as far as the stroke length and the droop to prevent the car from being bothered and upset as the road changes underneath you. That was really the impressive part. I think you certainly did your homework on spring regs for this car. It's certainly the different animal from the rest of the generation of Miatas. You know, for example, the ND is pretty lightly sprung compared to these.
Yeah, I've noticed that a little bit in some of my preliminary research.
Yeah, the little bigger car, right? Like they wanted a little more spring rate, and the motion ratio changed in the car. So well put together. You know, really appreciated the opportunity to drive it.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Had to take advantage of it while we were here in this wonderful place, man. It's a beautiful facility. And it's crazy that these are just state roads that people in North Carolina just have in their back pocket anytime they want them. Eastern Tennessee as well.
I'd be hard pressed to leave here if I lived here.
Goodness, I'm looking at storage units, and can I keep a Miata here and, you know, just disappear for a weekend?
I'm sure they'd hook you up.
I bet they would. Well, hey man, thanks for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, gang, we are here at the end of the 2025 Miatas at the Gap here in Deals Gap. We had a great first time out here unveiling our brand new HQ Series NC Miata coilovers, and really appreciated the response to these. We spent some time this morning out with the NC Miata owners that were here this weekend. We had about 60 cars out around the tail of the Dragon and different routes this morning. And a number of them really appreciated getting to learn about what we have and what's coming to market. So whether you've got an NA, NB, NC, ND, doesn't matter. We're all here to have a good time celebrating a really awesome platform. So if you have an NC and you're watching this content and you weren't here this weekend and you want to find out more about these coilovers, they'll be available soon at ridetech.com or through any RideTech authorized dealer. Check us out at the website or on social media. We'll catch you on the next one.